How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the AEW Dynamite pre-show with Novi. It's a big week this week. We have the Owen Finals. Swerve's coming back. We have a lot to talk about. Vaquer's going to NXT, all that good stuff. There's apparently going to be a hacker in AEW, so TK's got to watch his back, be a little careful. If you guys are watching the stream, say what's up in the chat. And drop a like on the stream as well. It helps to get discoverability. And also, we have super chats. Technically speaking, my birthday is this Saturday, and I won't be streaming because I'll be out probably doing some other activities. It's my 21st birthday, so hopefully, if you're feeling generous, feeling that sort of wave, always welcome. Never mandatory though. But yeah, it's a big show today. We have they're in Calgary tonight. I'm not sure about the house. I think we're probably up to around 5K. It seems to be about the usual for AEW these days. But yeah, tonight's show looks honestly just as good as last week's did. I mean, last week's had a lot. It was a big show. I mean, we obviously got the MJF heel turn. We got the big main event. We had a few other things too. And Collision was a fine show, but mainly it featured Hangman's match. And this feels like the moment we're going to kind of get some more progression on all that sort of thing. So, yeah, it should be a big show. I'm really excited to see what comes of it. I'm hoping MJF, if he is on tonight, he's not announced, but if he's on tonight, he doesn't mention any ratings, any Nielsen's, any Meltzers. That would be disastrous, I would say. But, yeah, it should be a great show. I'm really excited to get into it. Since we're here, we might as well. Let's just jump into it. Let me 1 second, though. Let's make sure of something really quick. I want to make sure that there's nothing gone wrong. Nothing went crazy here with the old stream. All right, we're good. We're ready. We're locked and loaded. All right. The first match today, we have a Global Glory 4-way. It's a very interesting name, very AEW, but it's going to be Claudio Castagnoli versus Kyle Fletcher versus Pac versus Tomohiro Ishii of New Japan. This match is probably going to be really good. There's been a lot of discussion about Kyle Fletcher being in this match. People have their opinions about Fletcher, and I kind of understand them. There's parts of his game that isn't for everybody. But I'm a very big fan of his, so I'm excited to see what he does this match. He's gonna probably do something crazy with Pac, and we're probably gonna get something crazy between Claudio and Ishii because that just feels exactly what they do. Yeah, I'm not really sure who wins this match. I think Pac could probably get it done. If I had to guess, it'd probably be him because he's got a Wembley to go to pretty soon, and everyone else kind of feels like their direction wouldn't really need it, and Ishii is obviously just kind of doing a guest spot. So yeah, I think Pac wins this match. I think it's going to be really fun, and yeah, I don't mind 4-ways as much as everyone else. Should be exciting. I'm wondering how you guys feel. Let me know in the chat. We do have a few of you in here. Young Nabs, what's good? Danielson versus Hangman is going to be a banger main event. Look, we're going to get to it. It's going to be heat. That's an all-timer. A fourth match in the pairing. Yeah, no complaints. And we have a super chat from WrestleHook. Shout out WrestleHook. WrestleHook also makes videos, so if you guys are in this chat, check out his channel. Hey, I appreciate that. For the drink of choice, I don't know what it's gonna be. It's not my, nobody tell anybody, but it's not my first drink. But it will be my first public drink whenever that happens. So we'll see what I go with. Anyone got some recommendations? Send them out. I don't really know what would be good. But yeah, very much appreciated, WrestleHook. Everyone, check out his channel. He makes videos too. Hopefully, maybe one day you might see me on that channel. Who knows? But yeah, thank you, WrestleHook. Appreciate it. Apollo, what's good? Glad to see you again. Ian Davis, what's good as well? Always see you. Hope everything is great. Everything is pretty great right now. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a good day. Max Caster is bad, and Mansoor cooked his ass. And Kyle Fletcher, good. Yes, very true. Kyle Fletcher has been doing some good work over in ROH. I have heard he's been doing some good work over in ROH. I haven't seen all of it. Loud car. You hear that? So we have he's been doing some good work in ROH, as I've been hearing. He had the TV belt for a while, and he lost it to Atlantis Jr. in a match that I thought was pretty good. So yeah, I'm excited. Maybe he steps away from ROH and back onto main AEW, which he's done a few times, but I'd like to see him do something like that. I think he's better than some of the other stuff here. Austin Cruz, what's good? Yeah, I mean, I understand why people don't like four ways. I feel like in certain scenarios, people can kind of get a little too wacky with them, and the spots just don't ever connect and all that sort of stuff. And I get that, but I think when you have this level of talent and you have guys this good, I think it's pretty likely that it's going to be a fun match. So, appreciate the love, of course. Love a Crown Apple and 7-Up. All right, we'll keep that. We'll keep that in mind. We'll keep that listed. I've never tried Crown Apple, but it sounds like it'd probably be pretty good. I'm pretty sure it's like a brown drink too, right? It's a brown liquor. So yeah, we'll keep that in chat. We're gonna type that on the phone here in a bit. But got another one from Apollo here. Fletcher versus Lee Johnson had 2 great matches. They did. I like their first one more than their second one. Their first one was really good. It was on the ROH pay-per-view if I'm getting that correctly. If I'm getting that correct, sorry. Yeah, and they had a banger. They opened that show, I'm pretty sure, and they just went like all out, and they rocked it. So, yeah, those are some standout names. Fletcher he's always been really good with Aussie Open and stuff like that. But Lee Johnson is one of those guys like, he could have something here in the future. He could have something. He's one of those guys you pay attention to in ROH. No casters. Whoa, we have a caster defender? No, that's nasty work. That's nasty work. I'm sorry to tell you. We do not stand behind caster support. We are not that channel. I'm sorry to tell you, that's just what it is. Nabs, it would be better if the winner of the 4-way becomes number 1 contender for either TNT or International Championship. I agree. I was kind of assuming that that's kind of what it would be. Like the winner would move on to Ospreay kind of thing. But I don't know. Maybe they just want to keep it flexible, keep it open with what they can do. Because whoever, if there were to be a winner of this match and they were to be the number 1 contender for the international belt, I'd maybe assume they'd go to Wembley. But I don't know. It's an interesting thing too. I'm kind of surprised they didn't add that here, but who knows? I'm sure we'll get some kind of explanation when the match actually happens tonight. Another one from Cruz, Austin Cruz, that is. I love the old ECW rules for 3-way dance. I think they did for 4-ways where they were always elimination situations. Wouldn't mind if AEW brought that back every once in a while. But I don't understand why more like wrestling companies don't do elimination stuff, especially with AEW. I think that's I've always liked elimination style matches. I think they're a lot of fun. So yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all. With a 4-way elimination match, I would 100% be down for that. I would like it if this match was a 4-way elimination. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So I'm on your side with that. I agree. Another one from Apollo. Also, Mercedes truly is the CEO of women's wrestling. She's out here getting people paid. Hey, she balls out with one of these wrestlers, and they keep getting signed. I mean, it is what it is. She is the CEO. She's getting everyone the bag. She's passing around. She's a good CEO, which is very rare in modern life. But yeah, she'd be getting people the bag. Shout out Vicaire. We can talk about that a little later too. Maybe with Mercedes, we can chat about that when we talk about her segment. But yeah, she got her paid for sure. I'm pretty excited for her, but we'll talk about it a little bit later. Next up, might as well get into it. A Stampede Street Fight. We have Chris Jericho versus Samoa Joe. If you guys tune into these streams every week, if you guys follow me on Twitter, you know how I feel about Chris Jericho. You know that I think he stinks. I think he stinks like shit. I think his segments are getting worse and worse, and they're becoming more and more unbearable as the shows get better and better because they stick out so much more. It's like you have these moments, you have these shows like last week that I thought was really great. I thought it was great up until that Jericho segment. Right up until that Jericho segment where I thought it just drags the showdown so much. And they brought it back. The main event and stuff was really fun, but it was just so obviously shit that I can't really forgive them for doing it anymore. I'm over it. I'm sick of it. I love Joe. I'm always going to love Joe. I think he's great. Maybe he can make something work here. I mean, the Jericho Street Fight versus, I think Shibata was pretty fun. FTW Rules, I should say, was pretty fun. I won't lie. I'm not going to say I didn't think it was fun. Do I want to see it? No, but it was fun. So I'm kind of hoping this does the same thing. It's just a good time between at least one good wrestler these days. So we'll kind of see how it goes. I'm not sure it's going to lead to anything. I'm over the two groups feuding. I just don't even know what to say about it anymore. It's something else. Got one from WrestleHook here. I guess they don't do eliminations more often just because they try to keep a lot of people protected. Yeah, that's a good call. I didn't really think about that sort of thing. That's definitely something they want to do. It's pretty obvious that they like to do it. I mentioned in one of my videos not too long ago that I feel like more people should be willing to get pinned. But I don't know, for an elimination match. In this scenario, I wouldn't think it's too crazy, but yeah, I get that. At the same time, though, I mean, these are all, like, if they did it with this match in particular, these are 4 main event wrestlers. I mean, so you're getting pinned by another main event wrestler? I mean, debates to be made about Fletcher, but I think he's that good. Obviously, he'd probably be the one going out first in that scenario, but why would you mind getting pinned by another main event wrestler? It doesn't really hurt you at all, so yeah, it's definitely why they don't do it, but I wish they just did. Thomas, what's good? I always see you every week, Thomas. Shout out. I'm sick of seeing Jericho. I'm just tired. I feel like that's everybody. that's me. I don't know, man. I'm sick of what he's doing. I have no interest in any of it. I have no interest in any of the segments, none of the matches. They're not good. So it's just such an obvious weak spot on the shows. I can't get into it. It's really hard. Rough. Another one from Nabs. I can see Daniel Garcia beating MJF at Blood and Guts with the help of Ospreay, which sets up the feud between Ospreay and MJF. MJF beats Ospreay at Wembley to capture the international belt. That's an interesting way to get to that match. There's been a lot of speculation on what the match is going to be for Ospreay and Daniel and MJF at Wembley. I think it's going to be Ospreay and MJF. I wouldn't mind it being that sort of thing. I think Daniel Garcia needs to beat MJF. I know that there will be people that go against it. MJF is a big star and all that sort of stuff. But I think he just needs to beat him. He can't keep losing. It's too much now. It's gone too far. So I'd personally really like to see him beat MJF. I wouldn't mind Ospreay helping him out, like he said. I think that's a great idea. Yeah, and that leads to the match. I think Ospreay MJF is the Wembley match. I think Daniel Garcia is going to be involved in something else. I don't know what it's going to be. Maybe TNT. I don't know. I just need him in something big coming out of this. It's a big angle. It's with one of your top stars. I mean, whatever you feel about MJF, and I have my feelings about MJF, but he's one of their top stars, and Daniel Garcia should be getting those victories more and more. I think he's there. I think he's ready. Another one here from Thomas. I like the trio of Joe, Shibata, and Hook. Me too. I thought it was really fun. I think they have a really fun dynamic. I think it's just a good time when they're segments. I liked when they were invading the locker room of who are they going against not too long ago? The Premier Athletes. I like that sort of stuff. So yeah, I do like the trio quite a bit. I'm just over them feuding with this group with Jericho, the Learning Tree. So yeah. I think it's a 3-way at Wembley with Garcia winning the belt. That's an interesting shout. I haven't heard too many 3-way scenarios at Wembley. I could definitely see that being the match for a 3-way. There has been discussion of a 3-way for another match featuring 2 wrestlers that are on this card that we're going to preview later. But I feel like I'm more open to that 3-way than I am the one that I'm alluding to later on. So I wouldn't hate that. I would love a crowning moment where Hook gets the black towel to wear around the neck. Maybe the one Taz had. We can't have black towel. We gotta have orange towel. We gotta keep up with the gimmick. But yeah, I wouldn't mind that sort of thing. I don't know how I feel about Hook right now. I've liked some of his stuff, and I've not liked some of his stuff. I mean, he's very up and down for me at the moment. But yeah, I definitely think he's a guy. He still has a future. He just needs a little bit more development. And I think if he stuck him in this trio and they went after the belts, they beat Jericho and do all that stuff, I think it would be pretty fun. And give him a towel. If they're all going to have towels, give him one too. That's a nice gimmick. Why not? Another one from Nabs. I do think once MJF captures the belt from Ospreay, then Daniel Garcia can beat MJF at WrestleDream and win the International Championship. That wouldn't be too crazy either. As long as Daniel Garcia gets a moment, as long as he gets a belt at some point, I'm okay with it. Also, I'm not too sure if I'd have MJF beating Ospreay at All In. I know you mentioned that before. I forgot to mention that part. I don't know how I feel about that sort of thing. But I don't know. It's just MJF is in such a weird spot right now, and I think Ospreay is too over to lose to that and all this sort of stuff. It's very interesting. Hook bet. Okay, we have two chats here. Kind of the same thing. We got Brainbuster of Graps Podcast fame. They are returning Mondays and Thursdays, I think, if that's right. So check out the Graps Podcast on YouTube. Always got to give the shout out. And Ian Davis, Hook need to run the indies. I agree with the second one. I'm not so for the first one. I don't think he's terrible. He has his moments where he's pretty bad, but I feel like he would be less bad if he just ran the indies. Honestly, indies is different. I think he should run Japan. I think he should go run off to somewhere over there and learn how to do some graps. But yeah, we have a super chat here from Bob86. Shout out Bob86. Just find the learning tree funny. I mean, that's a valid way to. It's getting there for me. It's getting like comically bad at this point. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's getting comically bad. So appreciate the super chat, Bob, as always. Thomas, I definitely think Ospreay screwing MJF, which leads to a match, would be great. Yeah, I'm open to that idea that was posed earlier in the stream. Yeah, that's not a bad one. We are so back. Appreciate you always, brother. Of course. We are so back. Grabs podcast back. Tune in, check them out. They're a great show. Hopefully they'll have some nice things to say about New Japan here coming soon. G1 coming up. That's a new video, by the way, this Saturday for everyone here. We're doing a G1 preview. I'm putting it together right now. Before the stream started, I just spent some time talking about how I think Naito stinks, so should be fun. Ian Davis, I wouldn't be too upset seeing Hook in the Super Juniors. That's one I wouldn't mind either. I think he would add a variety to those kind of matches. I don't know how many technical wrestlers there, which, Hook technical wrestling. I don't know if you want to say that. I probably wouldn't go that far. I think it's kind of a misspeak from me, but yeah, I wouldn't mind that sort of thing. I think it'd be a good spot for him. I think he'd learn a lot. He's one of those guys where those kind of things would be really good for him. He needs something like that. I don't mind Ospreay losing in Wembley just for some character development. Plus, it could plant seeds to these guys feuding over their careers. I get that sort of thing. I think that would have been more open to Ospreay losing. Which one did he lose in particular? He didn't lose that I wanted him to lose. I wanted him to lose to Bryan. That's what I wanted him to lose to kind of send him down that path. But I don't know if I want to see it go for MJF, but I would understand if they did it. I just need MJF to be better, and then I would be more open to it. So we'll see how his character moves forward after a Meltzer reference. Did I hear that WWE have signed Stephanie Vaquer? Yes, they did sign Stephanie Vaquer, and we can talk about it right now with Mercedes Moné Championship Victory Toast. This is kind of the same thing they did last week, so I don't know why they're doing it, but the CEO has gotten Vaquer a contract with their really fun match, I thought, on the pay-per-view. I'm okay with Vaquer getting in WWE. I don't want her there. I'd rather her in AEW because I'm more of a fan of her, and I'm more of a fan of AEW. But I do understand that, they paid her a lot of money and all that good stuff, so I get it. And I think I'm more open to it as well, being in NXT rather than main roster, because it's more likely that they're not just going to, not let her be a hooper over in NXT, because in the main roster, they let nobody be a hooper that's actually, a good wrestler. And they also put every, Hispanic wrestler with the LWO, or I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. So, I don't know. Vaquer to NXT most likely should be fine. I would have liked her in AEW, but hey, I mean, I can't blame her too much for getting the bag, that sort of thing. Why not? People really got mad at me for saying Naito sucks. I love him, but it's sadly the truth. That's pretty much what I said, what I'm gonna say in the video. I like Naito. I have a lot of, I've liked some of his matches. I liked his match versus Ospreay last year. I thought it was really, really great. I liked his match versus Okada, but it's becoming clear that it's going to be rarer and rarer to get those matches because his body just can't hang anymore. So I don't know. There's a lot of people out there that say a lot of wrestlers are washed, and in most cases they're wrong because people throw buzzwords around way too often. But in Naito's case, he just is. He is washed. He can't hold up. He can't go like he used to, and that's okay. That's fine. But it worries me a lot for this G1 because I don't know if he can hang for all matches, and even I don't think he's going to advance. I don't know. I don't think he will. But if he does, can he hang for a playoffs, even one match? I don't know. I would have definitely preferred they keep the belt on Moxley. It's just, Naito's their star, and I understand that. But keep it on Moxley. Build Shota. That would have been fine by me. And, then you have better matches for this G1. You have better matches for the title defenses down the line. It just, I don't know. It seems people are kind of people need to be honest with themselves when it comes to Naito. It's come time. Another one from Thomas. Sending Hook on excursion to Japan is actually a good idea. New Japan fan are always complaining that AEW doesn't send enough guys, so it'd be great. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they'd be super happy about sending Hook over as one of their guys, but he definitely could use a Japan excursion. I think he'd fit really well over there, honestly. And yeah, we don't need any more of those references. CEO, as always, we always have to chant. I chant in my living room. I'm a supporter. I'm not one of these fucking dorks on Twitter that hate on Mercedes for no reason. Vaquera LWO debut imminent. Yes, very, very likely. We're going to get that Zelina Vega face-off, baby. And everyone's going to tweet cinema. It's going to be great. It's going to be super fun. Yay. Naito is indeed unfortunately washed. #old. The #old is kind of crazy on the man, but yeah, he is indeed washed and indeed old. Sorry, Naito. Unfortunate. Stephanie going to WWE is cool, especially with NXT, and you don't need mad promo skills there. I mean, you don't, but I've never really heard her cut a promo, but I'm sure she's fine. So there's some matches down there too I'd like her to see. So yeah, I'm cool with NXT. The Roxanne match, it intrigues me, but we'll see how it goes. AEW missed the boat with Vaquera. She would have been a good addition to the women's division. She's too good to be in NXT. This is an interesting thing that I actually think is important to bring up. It's a tweet I saw earlier, and I'm going to make sure to pull it up just so I get it right, because I really agree with what was said here. And this super chat really does relate to it. So let me look at this real quick. Hopefully you don't hear the mouse. Okay, it's at King of the North. I'm sure a lot of you guys know who that is, but at King of the North. Sign her and you're a shit partner and you poach their talent. Don't sign her and she goes to the Fed, which means you fumbled. AEW is in a lose-lose situation, and I 100% agree with this. I feel like if they were to sign her, it would just be the same thing, like, oh, they're poaching all the New Japan guys, doing all this stuff. Why even partner with them? They keep stealing our talent. And if they let her go to WWE, like we've seen, like what's happening, people are saying, oh, they fumbled her, they didn't know what they had with her, now we're gonna get her in a match with Julia. It's like, what can you do there? What can you do? And I would have liked to see AEW get her. I think she would have hooped in this division. I don't really care what anyone has to say about the division. It's improved a lot over the years, and it's pretty damn good this year. I think she would have done some great work, but hey man, they probably just offered her a fuck ton of money, and maybe she just wanted to get away. I don't know. We don't know how she feels until she openly talks about it. So I can only assume that they offered her a big deal and she took it. I mean, she was pulled out of bookings and she missed her booking last weekend to be at NXT Heatwave. So I'm sure that's just what she wanted, and shout out to her. I wanted AEW to sign her. I think it is a bit of a missed opportunity. I think she is really, really good, and she could have been transformative. But I think she's going to do great things in NXT, and I'm excited to see what it looks like down there. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It all really just depends on how her NXT run goes. So, I think it's kind of wait and see sort of thing. But, yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Lose-lose situation. You either sign her and you're shit, or you don't and you're shit. So, that's just how it goes sometimes. Goodness, I forgot Naito was in the G1. That is concerning. Yeah, a lot of people seem to be forgetting that he is in the G1 this year, and he is going to be wrestling. How many matches is it? It's a lot of matches. It's 10 or 9. It'll be 9 matches. And look, I think there are some people in his block that he could hoop with. Someone like Shota, someone like Shingo, even Sonata, I could see something like that. Gabe Kidd, Zack Sabre Jr. There are people in there that could carry him to good matches, and that's probably why he's in the block he's in. But I just worry about his body holding up for the whole G1. It's something I feel people should be more concerned about. He's old. He's not as good as he once was, and it's dangerous. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm really worried about it, though. Another one, Thomas. Naito knees just can't take that schedule anymore. Yeah, it's kind of a thing too. Yeah, they do need to build new stars. His knees, and even just their top stars, Tanahashi, his knees are fucked. He's not in the G1. Ishii, he's the pinnacle of consistency, but how long can he do it? He's old too. So I feel like this is a big G1. They have to build their future, and I don't know. I'm gonna make a video about it this Saturday. You guys will hear all my thoughts on it. I think they will do the right thing, and sometimes do the wrong thing. David Finlay. But yeah, this is a big G1. It's very, very pivotal. Last year, people were saying it was pivotal, but this year is the one they have to get right. And if they don't, the next year could be bad. So we'll see. The IWC is just hating on AEW, but at the same time, I'm a fan of the AEW women's division. I'd rather them develop their division than worry about signing people. Well, I think her joining up with AEW would kind of be them developing the division. But yeah, there's obviously going to be plenty of people out there that just hate to hate, that sort of thing. No notification again. Damn. Noti Gang, though. Shout out. Suns and Shadows. How's it going, man? Hope you're doing well. Another one from Apollo here. 6 months ago, WWE fans didn't even know who Julia was. 3 weeks ago, Stephanie was a nobody. Yeah, that's kind of where it is with some of the fans. They see one of these international talents get poached, and or not poached, but signed. And they go off and they say, "Oh, this is a game changer. This is a hooper." And you at whatever it is, Julia, and they've never tweeted about her before. And some people just don't tweet about international wrestling. That's okay. But I feel like if you really think she's so good and you've seen all of her matches, you would have tweeted about her at least once. So it's like, it's okay that people don't know who she is, and it's okay even, I think, sometimes for people to pretend, be like, I'm really excited to see what she's like in my company. That's fine too. But don't make it a whole, like, AEW stinks because they let her go. How could they do this? Fed wins again. Like, you don't know that. You don't know any better. It's really weird. It's just IWC shit. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. It's like the Discourse stuff. Ugh. Another one from Thomas. I truly believe AEW is in a place where they genuinely don't need to sign anyone else. They just need to invest in their own. Yeah, I think, but when, a good talent comes up, it's hard for them to say no, and I understand that. Why would they want a good talent to go to their competitor and stuff like that? So I agree, but I also kind of understand why they do what they do. David Finley Stray was hurt. It has to be. It's going to be this Saturday in my video. It's definitely going to be. MVF, welcome to the stream. I don't think I've ever seen her name before. Welcome. Torn on Stephanie, good for her, but wrestling got her over, and wrestling doesn't matter there. That's why I said what I said about NXT. Like, I think it's more likely that she can ball out and she can do her thing in NXT rather than the main roster. So if she was going to the main roster, I'd be worried. But since she's going to NXT, it seems like I'm a little more optimistic about it. So we'll see. Doing good. That's great to hear, Sons. It's kind of hard to take WWE fans seriously. It's kind of hard to take almost any fans seriously these days. Everyone just feels so stupid. It pisses me out. I don't know. Maybe that's fucked up, but it's just so... Everyone just feels so fucking annoying. Another one from Nabs. Well, I will say, actually, before we move on to that, there is more fans on that side that I feel like are more annoying, but another day, another conversation. Nabs. Am I the only one that thinks this whole WWE TNA partnership is not good for TNA? You're definitely not the only one, and I could see why that would, be the case. I mean, who have they sent? Who is it? I can't remember who they sent. It was like kind of a no name in NXT, kind of not. And they sent Charlie Dempsey. It's like, I don't know, man. That doesn't feel like good enough for them just getting the Jordan Grace tryout pretty much on their roster just to sign eventually. It's weird. I'm not sure. I'm sure it's somewhat good for them, but I don't know. It just feels like more beneficial to one side, which is how it goes sometimes. And you could make that same argument too for maybe AEW and New Japan. So I get it. It happens, but it's one to look at as maybe one that they might regret. Tribalism has always been a thing, but it's the ones that scream for death. That's when it gets weird and out of hand. Yeah, people just wishing for death on other companies and like, oh, they're dying now. It's over for them. They signed 70 Vicari. It's over for AEW. They're finished. It's like, you're just being weird, loser. That's no fun. Thomas, yeah, like how they didn't know anyone on the AEW roster, then suddenly they knew who Tama Tonga was. Yeah, it's like they know all the Tongans. They know all the Samoans and stuff like that. It's like, brother, it's okay if you don't. Even if you don't, it's cool to say, hey, this guy looks really cool. I want to see what he's like and not just pretend all the time. But yeah. One from Austin Cruz, what's up? I agree with you about the G1 this year, especially since there's no Okada and Ospreay like last year. Yeah, it's scary. I'm previewing on Saturday. I keep mentioning it, but shout out. It's an interesting thing to look at. I don't know how it's going to work out. There are some matchups I'm really excited for, but there are some ways this could go south. It really just depends on what New Japan is looking to do this G1. So, yeah, we'll see. Their star power is not there anymore, but they do have people that can have good matches, so we'll kind of just see how it works out. The AEW Women's Division has improved significantly. It just needs a little better booking here and there, and maybe also clean house a little bit. Yeah, I definitely think they've improved a ton. They definitely need maybe some people off TV and maybe some people on there like Aminata or Red Velvet that could be on the show more often. I would appreciate that rather than, the Outcast. So yeah, I definitely agree. Long as AEW signed Megan Bayne, I don't care. Yeah, she's one of those where I would be excited for her. Apparently it's not done yet, but it seems likely. Yeah, she's one they should definitely be trying to get. everyone is a former wrestler from somewhere else. Seth was a former ROH guy. AJ Styles is a former TNA, New Japan guy. Steve Austin, former ECW, WCW guy. Yeah, everybody's from somewhere, and it's okay that like some people kind of pretend like they are. Not, let me rephrase this. It's okay that they come from each company. People kind of made that a thing where it was like, oh, AEW signing every WWE talent, and you know it works the other way too. It's like these are just good wrestlers, and yes, they wrestled in these territories for a certain amount of time, but they're just good wrestlers going to another company. It doesn't have to be like, oh, we got another one from them. It's like, it's not that serious. Another one from MVF. SRS today agreed with this notion. The TNA thing is partially so they don't get any more antitrust lawsuits. I guess they could that could be the case. It's a really funny reason to partner. I definitely heard that before too. Yeah, that this is like, oh, look guys, we're playing nice. We work with everybody else, that kind of thing. So I don't know. I could definitely see that being the case. We're gonna pause on the chats. Thank you guys so much for all of them. I really appreciate it. This always just helps me get through the show. I love chatting graps with you all. If you haven't already, leave a like on the stream. We are at 12 likes. That's a pretty damn good number, so I appreciate you guys. We also have super chats. Technically, for everyone in here that didn't hear the intro, this is a birthday stream. My birthday is this Saturday. I'm turning 21. So if you're feeling generous about that sort of thing, send them my way. But next up, we're gonna get into Swerve Strickland returns, and we'll hear from Will Ospreay. We'll start with Will Ospreay. I think he's definitely going to talk about the Daniel Garcia MJF stuff. I'm sure he'll be down on himself, all that sort of stuff. He'll probably have some sort of challenge for MJF or something like that. I've heard talk, and we've talked about in this, that it could be the All-In match. And while I'm pretty sure it is, there's also a pretty good chance it could be next week on Dynamite, because next week is the 250th Dynamite, and apparently Tony Khan feels that that's a big time thing. So we could see it happening. I could definitely see it happening at All In, but I could definitely see it happening next week. We'll just have to see where it goes. This will be a good tell which it goes towards. Then we have AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland. He is returning to the show after a week off, after beating Will Ospreay. I'm interested to see where this goes. This should probably see some direction. Maybe he's going to talk about the Owen finals that is going to be main eventing, I hope. Maybe talk about some Hangman business, because Hangman's been chatting some shit about him. So who knows? I'm pretty sure he'll probably mention the Cowboys. So yeah, should be an exciting one. A couple exciting promos on the show. That's fun. We'll go through here. Another one from Thomas. I'm just sitting here laughing at the hypocrisy of the people who said the TNA AEW partnership was terrible. That was just a weird thing. People, that partnership was good for them. Kenny Omega got them a shit ton of pay-per-view buys, so I feel like that's good enough. I'm not sure that's worked the same way this time, but at least AEW sent Danielson, Kingston, Konosuke, Willow, and BCC to New Japan. Unlike, that's a good call. They've sent a lot of big stars to New Japan at some point throughout this relationship. Maybe that kind of will come along with the TNA one, but I don't think I see it. I think it's more what MVF said. It's more just antitrust stuff, in my personal opinion. No increase in sales, no increase in attendance. People don't even know they have pay-per-views. TNA is a dead company, bro. I don't know. It's an interesting thing. That's, it's kind of more on the point. Is this partnership any good for them? I'm not too sure. Apollo, happy birthday. Appreciate that, Apollo. Another one from Nabs. WWE should do TNA a favor and send one of their top stars, mid-carders, to their show. I kind of thought that AJ Styles was going to go there at some point. He still could, so he'll probably be the guy to go do it if they're going to send anybody like that. So I wouldn't mind it. I think it'd be fun, but that's one of those things where I think they should too. I feel like it should be more beneficial to TNA. I don't want to just be a TNA bad guy, which it is pretty bad, but they're partnered up. I want to see something like that, something cool. Why not? Yeah. No, Sons and Shadows, happy birthday and have a great night in Dynamite. Appreciate that. You have a wonderful night too. Dynamite looks like a great show, so I think we're both gonna enjoy this one, and everyone here appreciate the birthday. Shout out. Another one from Thomas. I'm down for Queen Aminata joining the Don Callis family with Hobbs as the leader. Queen being repackaged as the badass assassin. Like this. Whoa, this is a crazy ass little pitch here. Interesting pitch. I think she should kind of just be there to ball out. She should do the same thing she's been doing on ROH with Red Velvet, and just kind of take over the main AEW shows. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Another one from MVF. MJF's Collision promo didn't hit for me. It felt like a step back instead of an evolution. That's a great. You're giving me a great stepping stool here to talk about that promo. at first, I wasn't sure how I felt about it. I thought that it was going to be, at first I was just confused. I was like, is this good? Is this setting up good direction? I don't know. And then I thought about it for a second, and I tweeted that it's more poo-poo shit. And I think I'm still on that page. I think him kind of playing up all this, inside baseball shit and all that sort of stuff just feels like old MJF. It feels like something that's not exciting. It's not new. It's not what I would have wanted. The guy was a babyface. He's getting babyface reactions. No matter how I or anyone else feels, the crowds are reacting to him. And something like that should set up a more meaningful heel turn. And it didn't feel like he was saying anything of note, anything of value. Hopefully, whenever his next promo is, it kind of sets something up, and he kind of moves forward more talking about the wrestling instead of, do you guys know about this thing? Do you guys know about this report, guys? Do you guys know Will Ospreay gets high ratings from Dave Meltzer, and that I do really good on Nielsen ratings? It's like, bro, no, you don't. You don't do good in the Nielsen ratings. You don't boost anything right now. And that's just boring as fuck to say. It's just annoying. So, yeah, I did not like that promo. I'm not a big fan. Another one from Austin. Ospreay versus MJF at All In is what I prefer over Dynamite 250. I wouldn't hate it if it was for next week. Plus, I think Swerve is going to declare himself for Blood and Guts. That's a good shout, too. I think he'll definitely declare himself for Blood and Guts. I feel like he's pretty much always been planning to be in that, which could tie into that main event, so we'll see. But yeah, I think I wouldn't mind it either way. She can ball out with a knee character. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Maybe I'm tripping. MJF of Busted Open Radio. Yeah, Busted Open Radio fame. He loves all that stuff. He's gonna start mentioning some maybe Cornette at some point. We're getting to that point. It's scary. I like that he blames the fans for turning on him, but the insider wink wink style snoring. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. I didn't mind him saying, you guys are the reason why you guys started hating me, all this stuff. I didn't mind that part, but I think everything else that he said just kind of overshadowed that and made it not a good promo. What's good, Mega Mush? Welcome to the stream. I want MJF the character on the story, not this Deadpool wink at the camera character. It's the same problem I have with the Young Bucks. I agree with both those statements. I would rather him be more of the CM Punk feud MJF rather than the Adam Cole MJF. I think that's more interesting. And Young Bucks, I would love for them to get more serious too. I think both. They need to get all this inside baseball stuff off of AEW. Need it off. Need all this irony away from my company. I feel like that'd make a lot of these stories a lot better. Another one from Apollo. Red Velvet needs to be in STP. Shane Taylor is a former boxer. Anthony Ogogo is a boxer. Velvet is a boxer. Fits like a glove, pun intended. Hey, solid pun. I wouldn't hate that. It's an interesting thing. I haven't heard much of her being a boxer, actually. That's news to me. Very interesting stuff. I wouldn't mind that sort of thing. They're a pretty decent group. I like what they do. I wouldn't hate it. If not Ospreay, who does Ricochet go after first? I have no idea. Ospreay just seems too clear. It seems too obvious for me to even think about anyone else. So I think it's just gonna be Ospreay, and that's about it. Where's Wardlow? Looked like he was getting some sort of push in the main event scene for a short time before disappearing. I think he's just gone. He hasn't proved himself to be a main event guy. He hasn't stepped up in any time he's been given any role like that. So I just think they lost interest. It is what it is. He didn't step up to it. Happens. Cole will be the face of his return. Will be a face on his return. Yeah, I think so too, and I think that fits him better. I just hope he comes back healthy. It's been so long. Ankle injuries are so tough, and I just hope he comes back healthy at this point. I'm interested in what his return will look like. I'm excited for it. AEW has done a great job balancing the returns with forming new trios. Yeah, I love for them to form new groups. I love that. I love groups in wrestling. I think factions are so great. They add so much depth to a roster. They add so much depth to the shows. I've loved that sort of thing. So I hope we continue to see more groups form and new factions. I think that's great for the shows. I think it's great for AEW in general, any wrestling show. The new Elite needs to lock in on this new pay-per-view cycle. They should have locked in for Blood and Guts. I don't think they've locked in, but they need to lock in. If not for Blood and Guts, they need to do it after, because I can't stand this irony shit. I hope Hangman adds less of it. I hope he adds more seriousness to it and stuff like that. I think that will happen, and I really want it to, so I'm hoping for that. I agree. I want these ladies in groups and stories we know they can ball out. I just want investment, yeah? Good point. I only caught the tail end of what you said about MJF. It felt like he was taking from the CM Punk interview he did that was talking about all AEW shortcomings. It was just weird. Like, it's weird to mention that ratings are bad. Like, it's weird to say on the show going, oh, the Nielsen ratings are bad when you're a champion, all this other stuff, or anything like that. It's just bad. You don't want to mention that. You want to focus on the wrestling and the wrestling shows. You want to focus on rivalries because you guys are two pro wrestlers and you want to be the best. That's how you build good stories. And it felt like he was more building a story around, oh, Meltzer likes you. It's like, that's no fun. That's not wrestling. That's not interesting to me. So, yeah, that's a good point. I kind of agree with it too, yeah. I have to disagree with that Wardlow take. The promo he dropped was the beginning of something special. Him losing to Joe Clean was a major problem. I'm kind of out on the Wardlow train. I was back for a little bit, and then I was out again. It's weird. 15 minutes till game time. Yeah, 15 minutes till game time. We got 2 main events to cover, so we're getting to it right now. We have not even main events. Could be 2 main events, but 2 Owen Hart finals matchups. We have the Owen Hart Women's Tournament Final. We have Willow Nightingale versus Mariah May. This match should be tremendous. I think both these wrestlers are so good. I think Willow is the babyface of this generation. Potentially, if they were to give her that ball, she could do it. And Mariah May is such a special talent. She has done such good work with this Toni Storm stuff. She has done such good work since she joined AEW. This is it's just a true battle between 2 potential main event women's wrestlers, and I'm really excited to see how it plays out. I could genuinely see both sides, winning this match. I could understand if they went Willow. I could definitely understand when they would go Mariah, if they were to go Mariah. I think personally, and I've been saying since before it started, that Mariah is going to win the women's tournament. I think she is building the story up with Toni. They're building it up. They've been trying to do it since she joined the company. I think this is a story they're going with, and I think it's the right call. I think this match is going to be excellent. I just saw in the chat too, Thomas thinks Stat screws Willow. I think that's very much a possibility, but either way, Mariah May is winning the Owen Hart Cup, and I think she's going to Wembley, and I think she's going to win that belt from Toni Storm. I think that's the story they've been building. It's honestly the biggest women's story right now, and I think it's been really, really great stuff. So I'm really excited for this match. I'm really excited to see where we go post this match, because the Mariah-Toni story, a lot of potential there. All right, let's go here. What does the winner of the Women's Cup get? We'll answer that too. They get a shot at Toni Storm at Wembley Stadium at All In. Yeah. MVF. AEW isn't a startup anymore. It's a different place with a roster locked with 8, 9, and 10 out of 10 wrestlers. The bar is higher now. Yeah, definitely. That's a great point to talk about when it comes to Willow. Or not Willow, sorry. No, Willow is one of those people. I mean Wardlow. Because Wardlow, he's a fine wrestler. He's a decent wrestler, even that. He's had his moments. But there's just too many guys that are way better than him. I don't see him moving up the card anymore. It's that way for a lot of wrestlers, and people got to be understanding of that. It is what it is. Do we know when Scorpio Sky is coming back to AEW? Last time he was in a major program with Guevara for the TNT title, which was a long time ago. He came back in the early Collision days, wrestled a pretty bad match, I think against Action and Andretti, and just disappeared again. They teased him not too long ago on main AEW again, if I'm not mistaken, and then stopped again. Scorpio is probably done with AEW here pretty soon. I don't think he has it. I think he's pretty bad these days, at least in singles role. So yeah, I'm not anticipating his return like crazy. Big Nigel is going to do something crazy to Dragon tonight. We'll get into that just in a second. I think Big Nigel is going to shoot an angle. But MVF, we're getting 3 story-driven women's matches at All In. Major improvement year on year. Yeah, 100% agree. 3 major story-driven matches that they've given a ton of time to that all make sense. I'm just really excited for it. It's great stuff to see. I hope that they do, since I think Willow's losing, I hope they do Willow Stat Street Fight at All In. I think that'd be perfect. I'm on board for the Saturday night stuff? Oh, Saturday night stuff. Yeah, you got that right. Yeah. I'm on board for that too. I think she's been doing some great work in that sort of role with Stokely. I think it's awesome. Unpredictable booking always wins. This is what happens when you put top stars against each other. The OWN finals is proof. Yes, that's 100% true. I 100% agree with that. I love when matches, you can't tell the winner. I love when both winners are feasible. that makes matches what they are. That makes this great sport special. That's what I love about it. So these two finals are proof, and this is exemplified in what should be the main event. It's the match everyone's talking about. It's the match I, of course, am wanting to talk about. Bryan Danielson versus Hangman Adam Page in the men's tournament final. People have been debating which side is going to go up here, which side is going to win. Because Bryan Danielson, it's his last year of his career. He said this is going to be his final shot at it. He wants that main event at Wembley, and I could definitely see him getting it. I would understand. I want him to hold gold in AEW, absolutely. So I would 100% see it happening. Hangman Adam Page is fueled by rage. He can't even say Swerve's name. He has bled for Swerve. He has bled just to get there. His promo that they released on Twitter after his match versus Jay White was insane. It was incredible. It was one of the best promos I've seen in a very, very long time. Hangman Page is the most compelling story of AEW once again, because of course he is. He's Hangman Page, and personally, I think that that's the route you have to go with. You have to go with the most compelling story. You have to go with the story they're telling in this Dynasty era. I think Hangman Page is going to go on to main event Wembley Stadium versus Swerve Strickland. I don't think there's going to be a three-way. I think that would be the wrong choice. I think it's Hangman, and I think it's Hangman versus Swerve at All In. That is the match. That's the story. That's what I want. That's what I think is going to happen too. If he were to lose, I think it would be too hurtful for the character. It would take away a lot of the punch and a lot of the things that he's been saying and just lessen it down. I think it's got to be Hangman. Before we finish up with these chats, I know Dynamite is starting very soon. Make sure to like the stream if you haven't. We have 15 likes. That's fantastic. Thank you guys so much. And we have super chats. Birthday on Saturday. You guys know 13, turning 21. If you guys are feeling generous, send them. Would appreciate it. We're going to get into all your chats because I know you guys are going to have a lot to say on Hangman versus Dragon. I think Hangman also, what I will say, he's going to fucking kill him. I don't think it's going to be a one-on-one like some of their previous matches have been. Their previous matches are fantastic. I don't think it's just going to be that. I think Hangman is going to fucking kill him. And I think it's going to rock. So let's go here. We'll go. I know the roster is stacked, but a lot of these guys don't have aura. I still believe Wardlow does. And if he slips through these fingers, they're going to be sorry. Wardlow has his moments. There are times where I understand where you're coming from, but in this roster, it's just too much, too stacked for him. I'm sorry to say, it is what it is. He's not bad, and I would like to see him go to WWE. Maybe he'd do better over there, but I don't know anymore. Trent Beretta should end the feud with Cassidy at Blood and Guts once for all, with Beretta winning. I would not mind that at all. I think that'd be a decent little thing. Cassidy kind of needs to go away for a while, so if it has to be at Blood and Guts, I wouldn't mind that at all. Megamush, who do you feel should be the next Willow in terms of building up to feel more important? A lot of female wrestlers in AEW don't feel like a big enough deal. That's a decent shout. I think there's a lot of wrestlers up there. I think Aminata is probably the clear answer for me. I think she's incredible. She has proved to be great on TV and on ROH. She's got to be the one for me. I think she's fantastic. Would you do a stiff for Hangman Swerve? I know there's been a lot of talk. I know a lot of the WrestlePeers people have been talking about adding it to, what was it called? An exploding barbed wire cage match, I think they said. I wouldn't mind that at all. I think that'd be a good stip. I think it will have to be a stip. But I'm more on the board of a 2 out of 3 falls. I think that's perfect for the story. But I want the falls to be different. Let's do a crazy insane. Let's do a regular wrestling match for the first one. Do a crazy insane one for the second one, and do an even more insane for the third. I think that would be the route to go. 2 out of 3 falls is the stipulation that I would add to Hangman versus Swerve at All In. I think that would fit the story they've told forever and all that stuff perfectly. That's what I would love. Willow kind of feels akin to Darby in status to me, how she carries herself. I want that for someone else. I agree with that. Darby and Willow both have their own unique aura. They feel like special talents in their own ways, and they connect with the audiences like no other do. So yeah, I'd love to see more wrestlers being built up to that level, because it's such an important thing to have. You want wrestlers that feel unique. You want wrestlers that people are really connecting to, and I think Darby and Willow are perfect examples of guys or just wrestlers that do. So I would love to see them build up more people to that level. That Page promo should open Dynamite tonight. It should be on Dynamite for sure tonight. It is that good. If you guys have not seen it, I hope you see it tonight on Dynamite. That promo was fantastic. It's one of the best promos I've personally ever seen. It's incredible. Thomas, see you later, guys. We're getting out of here. One sec. Hangman versus Swerve should be a dog collar match. That's a great shout, too, for the stipulation. I think that would fit the story really well, too. I would 100% be down with a dog collar. I think that would be perfect. It'd be violent. It'd be they couldn't get away from one another. They couldn't escape. It would just be two guys beating the shit out of one another. I think that would be awesome. 3 stages of hell match for Swerve Hangman. Wouldn't mind that either. Hangman will join the elite team at Blood and Guts. If not, then Christian Cage will be the final member of the team. I think Hangman is going to join their team at Blood and Guts after Swerve tonight announces he's going to be on Team AEW, because Hangman isn't going to give up any opportunity to hurt Swerve. I think that's the story they've always told, and that's the story they're going to continue to tell. With that being said, it is 7:55. We are coming down to the wire. You know, we always putting these big long streams. I really appreciate you guys being here. Thank you guys for all the chats. It's awesome. I will be back here next week. So make sure to tune in next week. Just keep sending chats. It's great to hear what you guys have to say. It's great to respond to it all, and I really appreciate it. Thank you to WrestleHook and to Bob86 for the super chats tonight. I'm really thankful, and for the birthday wishes, everybody. Much appreciated. New video dropping this Saturday, as always, 10 a.m. EST. Talking Graps. You know what I do. We'll be back next week, as I said. Make sure to tune in. Make sure to be here. Should be a great Dynamite next week, too. 250. Sorry. And with that being said, everybody, thank you for all the love. Thank you for tuning in. Very much appreciated. Have a good Dynamite. Peace out, everybody.